If you're a business owner funding an IUL, there's a 90% chance you're walking into a financial scam, and you won't discover it until it's too late, because the scam isn't the IUL. The scam is the design. Inside most policies sold to small business owners, there's a hidden structural trap. Too much death benefit, too little funding, too much drag, and commissions in all the wrong places. It's quiet, subtle, and it steals your future without making a sound. Today, I'm exposing that trap using real numbers from a real 48-year-old business owner. Same $12,000 per year premium, 2 designs, one collapses at age 78 after swallowing $216,000 and produces 0 tax-free income, and the other produces tax-free income from age 66 to age 90. And the difference isn't luck, it's engineering. If you're new here, my name is Robert Balgac. I'm a founder and CEO of Black Swan Insurance Group, and we've helped over 20,000 families protect and grow wealth and earn over 800 5-star reviews by doing one thing different. We engineer IULs around the IRS rulebook, not commissions. We start with Tax Rule 7702, 7702A, MAC testing, and funding corridors. Because the IRS writes the rules, we simply design the strategy so you win within those rules. If you're a high earner without a 401k, or if you're tired of watching the IRS act like your silent business partner, this video may save you from a decades-long mistake. And if you ever want to see your own numbers, you can book a strategy session with us below. Just click on the link in the description. Now, let me introduce you to the man who inspired this video, because his story is the financial wake-up call almost every entrepreneur needs. Meet Jason, 48 years old, runs a plumbing business in Texas, makes around $280,000 a year. Smart, disciplined, hardworking, and like so many entrepreneurs, he has no 401k. Just long days, bigger tax bills, and constant feeling that he's doing everything right, but keeping too little. 5 years ago, Jason bought what he believed was his tax-free retirement plan, an IUL. And that original agent painted a dream: market upside, no market downside, tax-free retirement income. Then came the line agents love to use: let's make it $1 million policy. You deserve that. $1 million sounded like success. It sounded like protection. It sounded right. But after years of paying $12,000 a year, Jason looked at his age 65 projection, and he was scheduled to contribute $260,000, but his policy was only going to have $141,000 in cash value. And Jason told me, hey, Rob, I'm just embarrassed. I make good money, so why do I feel so behind? And then he said a line I hear way too often: I think IULs are a scam. So I just looked him in the eye and said, Jason, the IUL isn't the scam. Your design is the scam. And what happened when we rebuilt his policy? Shocked him. The thing that looks like wealth is often the thing killing your wealth. Agents love selling big debt benefits because they sound powerful. But for small business owners, using IUL for tax-free income, a massive debt benefit is like running a marathon with a weighted vest. It slows everything down. And here's the real villain: IRS Tax Code 7702. If your debt benefit is too high relative to your premium, your cost of insurance skyrockets. Cash value gets suffocated, compounding slows, liquidity evaporates, and your policy becomes fragile, sometimes fatally fragile. It's like buying a Ferrari and driving it with the parking brake on. Jason's $1 million trap design was premium $12,000 a year, debt benefit $1 million, accumulated cash value at 65, $141,000, income at 66, 0. Because cash after 70 keeps shrinking. At 74, it's 87,000. At 75, it's 67. 76 is 42. At 77, it's only 10,000. Age 78, lapse. So total premiums paid, $216,000. Total income, 0. So Jason poured in $216,000 into his tax-free plan, and the policy died before he did. Why? Because the debt benefit was oversized. And when the debt benefit is too high, Tax Code 7702 forces the insurance charges higher every single year. And this has nothing to do with a carrier. This had nothing to do with the index, nothing to do with the market. It's the design, period. Now, let's flip the design using the exact same dollars for the exact same person. Same money, just different structure and different future. So we rebuilt Jason's policy to be max funded, meaning lowest legal death benefit, highest allowable contribution, minimum internal costs, maximum early compounding, and still being fully compliant with 7702 and 7702A. Think of it like swapping a weighted vest for running shoes. Suddenly, he could actually move. So here are the numbers on Jason's optimized max funded design. Accumulated cash value at 65, it's $356,000. Tax-free income starting at 66, $27,000 a year. And total tax-free income to age 90, if he makes it that long, $883,000. Same $216,000 contributed, $0 in a bad design, and $883,000 in the optimized design. That's not magic. It's not luck. It's not great performance. It's structural efficiency. But the biggest difference isn't the income, it's the liquidity. A tax strategy that traps your cash isn't a strategy. It's a prison. Entrepreneurs don't fear the stock market. They fear being stuck. High earners like you don't want restrictions. You want options. Badly built IULs destroy early liquidity because too much money is eaten by insurance charges. Jason's bad policy in year 5 had barely any growth. And in year 10, he was still under 42,000. He felt like he was drowning in molasses. In the optimized design, he already has 53,000 in year 5 and 125,000 in year 10. In year 15, even jumps to 260,000. And this is going to give Jason opportunity capital, a tax-free line of credit, a business liquidity reserve, a volatility buffer, strategic freedom. And remember, policy loans are not taxable events when structured properly. You borrow against cash value, not withdraw it. That's why we say your business builds income and your IUL builds freedom. Now, let's bring it all home. Jason didn't fail. His IUL didn't fail. His design failed. And that's the part most entrepreneurs never hear. They think the IUL is a scam. They think the illustration is reality. They think the market is the enemy. But the real villain is structural inefficiency. And the IRS creates rules, 7702, 7702A, MAC limits, funding corridors, cost of insurance formulas. If your IUL ignores those rules, your cash value gets crushed. Your liquidity is going to disappear and your income potential evaporates. And your policy could collapse before you retire. But when it's engineered correctly, you're going to minimize the drag. You're going to maximize compounding. You're going to have liquidity. You create long-term tax-free income potential, and you build generational leverage your family can tap without a bank. This channel exists for one reason, to give high earners clarity, not hype, math, not magic, strategy, not sales. If you'd like to see what your numbers would look like with this strategy, you can click on the link below and book a strategy session with us. One conversation could save you from a 30-year financial mistake. Because remember, it's not what you earn, it's what you keep. Enjoy the ride.